when we are feeling kind of caved in, contracted, anxious, even depressed, a bit self absorbed, the best thing to do is to become generous, to actually think about someone else, to get out of this obsession with yourself. I'm not saying that this is an easy thing to do, and I'm not trying to judge anyone that's having emotional struggles right now. God knows that that it takes me effort almost daily to claw my way out of the contracted feeling that seems to take over, because anxiety and fear are in the air, because I don't know when people are going to start gathering again. And that's how I make a living, by helping people to come together in person. So I'm not trying to make this small. I am just saying that when we step out of ourselves, we find a way to contend with, and to get out of the spiral in our minds. I've always been intrigued by this observation that Navy SEALs, and we know that that's one of the most impossible endurance tests that a warrior has to face if he or she wants to enter this elite club. And 1 out of 4 people make it, and what they've observed is that it's the people that tend to the people around them that actually increase the odds of getting through. And that's counterintuitive, but that seems to be how we work, because we're social animals, we're social beings. And as you know, if you've been paying attention to this conversation, to these reflections, this is part of a series on finding meaning during the pandemic, on the possibility of coming out of this stronger, of growing through this, of becoming wiser, of growing psychologically, spiritually, emotionally in this process. And we are looking at how to do that. And we know that the love we give is one of the ways in which to do that. And the work that we offer is another way. And having courage in the face of suffering, having dignity there, it's key. Facing our grief and paying attention to the story that we tell about what's going on. All of those are the things that help us to make meaning out of something like this. And today I'm focusing on the work that we offer. Because this generosity is essential even in this challenging time. And we each have something to bring. We have gifts, we have life force, we have care that we can offer to each other, to those around us, to those that need it most. And so focusing a bit on the work that we offer is a good way for us to stay on the track, stay on this path of finding meaning even in the challenge of this pandemic. And here I want to make an important distinction, because we as human beings, each one of us, has a need for significance. And we also have a need for making a contribution. And those two needs are separate. They could be connected, but they're not the same. And so in this Instagram culture, we all seem to be exacerbating our need to be significant, our need to stand out and be special in the hyper-individualism, the postmodern narcissism of the culture that we are in. And so it is easy to get confused and to think that this gift, that this work that you're offering is what's going to make you significant. And then sometimes your energy is about being significant rather than being generous and making a contribution. This is very common. If you're in my circles, there's an archetype, the archetype of the wounded healer. And that's the archetype that has to tell everybody that they're a healer. And so you can see it in the person that's kind of hoping for a kind of attention, to mean something. And we know that that the people that heal never call themselves that. That other people call them that. The people that teach don't call themselves that. Other people call them that. And that's true for whatever gift you're here to offer. And so I wanted us to make that distinction and to say the need for significance is authentic and it's worth pursuing. It's good to stand out. That's not a bad thing. And sometimes the contribution that you make feeds that need, and that's very healthy. But of all the needs that we have, the key human needs that we want to organize our life around are the need to grow, and this is what this series is about. How do we grow through this process? And the need to contribute, the need to offer something that matters to our community, to our family, to our friends, to our civilization. Don't spend too much time trying to figure out what big thing it is. Know that you have the capacity to listen. You can develop that capacity. The capacity to tend to. The capacity to show care. The capacity to gather people. Not in person at this time, but bring people together virtually. To hold space for somebody that is struggling. To show up. And, this is not about either offloading our anxiety, right? So it's not your job. Your contribution is not to share yet another article about how everything will be better or how everything will fall apart, right? Or your job in holding space is not to take on the anxiety that is being offloaded, but it's to really keep growing your heart so that you can face all the challenges and all the difficulties of this moment, and also the possibility, right, to make your heart big enough to hold space, to offer something from you to others, to find out that thing that you're good at, and to just be more generous with it even than you usually are. The work that we offer, the thing that is uniquely yours to give, finding out what that is and offering it forward, not because you want to be significant, but because you want to be generous and you want to make a contribution, that is key. And it's been beautiful to watch people do it. It's beautiful to open the social media feeds and hear the songs and see the videos and the calls. And the invitation is to find your way. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be public. But to make a contribution from wherever you can, to do work that matters, to be generous, and to stay together in this quest for meaning. Thank you.